Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again to their land that I gave unto their fathers. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone that teach and rule well, and as always, peace and salutations out there to the elect. All right, it's the brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch. It's going to be another quick lesson, all right? And as you know, we're coming up on the time of the Passover, which is going to fall in on a Thursday night, all right, which upon that night, you know, Yahweh Shai Shai is going to show signs, man. You see, it's going to be a blood moon, all right? And these are all going into the things that the Lord was said will be happening, man. You see, our people search for a sign, all right? But here it is, the Lord has been giving them signs clearly, all right? Clearly, the Lord has been giving our people signs in the heavens and in the earth, all right? The prophets standing back on their feet, that's a sign unto our people, all right? But only the elect is going to take heed unto their calling, all right, from the mouths of the prophets, all right, and turn back unto the Lord, all right? And like I said, the night of the Passover falls on a Thursday night, which is the night that we commemorate the time when the Lord delivered us. So like the Lord delivered us from Pharaoh and also delivered us from the captivity of Egypt. All right. But there's going to come another time, all right, which the time that we're living in, all right, which is soon to come. All right. As we just read in Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 15, it says, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. All right, which you know that land is to be North America, all right, because the bulk of the Israelites are over here, all right, in the Americas, man. You see, the bulk of the Israelites are serving out captivity over here in America, all right, Babylon the Great, which is that spiritual Egypt. You see, as the scriptures say, the Lord is going to set his hand a second time to recover the remnant of his people. All right, when you read about that in Isaiah chapter 11, all right, there's going to be a second Exodus, man, a second deliverance, all right, that's going to outdo, all right, the deliverance from Egypt. All right, as we just read, it's no longer going to be said that the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north and from all the islands whither he had driven them. You see, because this deliverance, all right, is going to be greater, all right, than the deliverance from ancient Israel, man. You see, and before that deliverance came, what did the Lord do? Well, he sent plagues. You see, he sent plagues and pestilence and totally destroyed, all right, the Egyptian empire, man. You see, which me and a couple of brothers, you know, kind of went into that, you know, the plagues of Egypt this past Thursday at our Thursday night sit down, man, and how the Lord is a man of war and how he broke Pharaoh down. You know what I'm saying? Every aspect of power that Pharaoh had, the Lord took it from him. You see, from his counsel on his left hand side, dealing with these particular spirits, all right, from his image of so-called being a god. You see where the Lord took all that power from him. You see, he totally destroyed his empire, and the Lord is going to do the same thing again. You see, this time with this new modern Pharaoh, which is Esau, according to the scriptures when you read in the book of Romans. You see, for the same purpose have I raised thee up. You see, just as the Lord raised up ancient Pharaoh, the Lord has raised up Esau, all right, to be this new Pharaoh of this spiritual Egypt, all right, that you can read about in Revelation chapter 11, all right, in verse 8, okay? But like I said, these plagues are getting ready to touch this place real quick. Let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, because the Lord said that he would touch this place. He would destroy Egypt with plagues again, all right? And this is not talking about ancient Egypt. All right, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'll start at verse, let me see where I'm going to start. I'll start at verse, I'll start up a little bit. All right, this is verse 7. It says, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, which is just going into us, you know, the elect crying out to the Lord, Lord, when we are part of that number, you know what I'm saying? But those souls, those men, all right, who are crying and sighing for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof, as it says in Ezekiel chapter 9. All right. That remnant, man, is going to be crying out to the Lord. All right. And the Lord is going to hear us just like he did in ancient Egypt. All right. When the Lord was talking to Moses, what did he say? I've heard the oppression of my people. You see, and the Lord has heard the oppression of his people in these times as well, man. You see, that's why we see these particular things happening, man. You see, that's why we see everything going on, because the elect is crying out to the Lord. All right. And the Lord is hearkening unto him, man. As the scripture say in the book of Sirach, that the prayers of the righteous pierceth the clouds, man. You see, and that we should give the Lord no rest. All right. Until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. All right. And that's what you have taking place. You have a remnant of people. All right. Men, women, and children that are crying out, all right, unto the Heavenly Father, man, about all this shit that's taking place, man. And the Lord is hearing them. You see, that's why, you know, brothers, you know, this whole fiasco that's going on with Sakari. All right. This shit happening. You know what I'm saying? And right before that, this shit happening on that Sunday, the apostle Ricard threw up curses, man. You see, on undercover moles and all that. And then the next day, that immediately, you know, that came to pass. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is answering the prayers of his men. You see, whether you people believe that the apostles, all right, of Great Millstone and like mind and the bishops and the like-minded man on down, or the man of the Lord, all right, we fully persuaded in our minds that these are the men. You see, and Lord willing, we are too. You see, because the Lord is answering our prayers, man. Things are happening in the earth because of the elect is crying out, man. All right. So let's keep going. It says, verse 9, therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. You see, so this is talking about the Lord sending plagues on Egypt again as before. You see, and we know that the ancient Israel, we know that the actual landmass of Egypt don't have the children of Israel in the captivity, man. We know that it's Babylon the Great, this new spiritual Egypt, like it says in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8, man. All right. This is the place that has the children of Israel in captivity, man. Even everything that you see from the obelisks, these particular buildings that's erected, all right, goes back unto Egypt. You see, the captivity, you know, the slavery, you know what I'm saying, goes back unto Egypt. Having you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans in hardcore slavery, all right, feeding our children to alligators. You see that all that shit happened in Egypt, man. So you see, that's how we know, all right, that this is spiritual, that spiritual Egypt that it speaks about, all right. And the Lord is going to send plagues once again. And our hope is that we are covered from these plagues, man. You see, we are covered from these plagues, because the only way that you're going to make it, if the Lord, all right, has that, if you have that blood, all right, upon your doorposts, you see, as the custom was during the time of ancient Egypt. When you read in Exodus chapter 12, Slack, I should have brought some water. Slakia. When you read in Exodus chapter 12 and verse 13, I'll grab it right quick. Exodus chapter 12, and Salaki, if I'm everywhere with it, man, you know, it's just off the dome, just on my spirit to, you know, just meditating on the scriptures, man. And like I said, the Passover soon, you know, is in a couple of days, man. So it's our time. It's time for us to get our minds right, man. You see, to really lock in, you know, self-examination. You see, and praying out to the Lord and crying out to the Lord in these times, man. You see, not to be like these other particular groups who, you know, who's out here, you know, celebrating and partying at the Passover and doing all this madness, man. When the scriptures say that the Passover is a solemn assembly, meaning it's something serious. All right, it should be taken serious, man. You see? So you brothers and sisters out there that's listening, you know what I'm saying, start preparing your mind, getting yourself ready, all right, for the Passover, man. Don't just go into it, oh, yeah, we all good. Nah, man. You see, self-examination. Pray to the Lord that he covers you and your family in the times that we're getting ready to come into, because just as devastating those plagues were back then, you see, when you read it, you know what I'm saying, the Lord really fucked that place up, man. You see, the Lord really tortured those Egyptians, man. And he did it for us, and he did it for his elect, man. He did it for his nation, his chosen, man. And the Lord is going to do it once again, all right, but only for the remnant, you see. 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to be caught up in these plagues. They're not going to be protected as they were back then, you see. So we're hoping to have that hedge of protection, all right, that you read about, okay? Psalms 91, like I said, Ezekiel 9 and 4, that the Y, which I'm going to grab real quick too, all right? And also, like I say, when you read these plagues that the Lord did on the ancient Egypt, all right, you notice that Israel was protected from it. You see, no flies were in Israel. Israel's cattle didn't get destroyed like the Egyptians did. Israel had light when the Egyptians had none but darkness. You see, so the Lord protected. He had a hedge around, all right, Israel. You see, and in these times, the Lord is going to have a spirit. He's going to have a hedge around his remnant, man. All right, so let's get it. This Exodus chapter 12 and verse. Let me see. Let's get verse 12. 12 and 12. I'll start at 12. It says, "For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai." Verse 13, "And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt." Okay. Now, when you read this, this is going into the actual, custom, the lamb, they would slay a lamb. They would take the blood, hyssop, and wipe it on the doorpost. But now in these times, what is that blood? Okay, what is that? That sign is what is that the Y. Okay, ultimately, all right, the blood of Yahushua upon our minds, man. You see, having the Father's name written in their forehead, which I'm gonna get. All right, but it's ultimately that blood, that blood of that lamb is Yahushua, man. You see, Yahushua's blood, man, that's gonna cover us. All right, Lord willing. You see, and it's for, like I said, it's gonna be for a sign. I want to get this. I mean, a token. I want to get that word token real quick. All right, it's Strong's H226, awach. I think I'm saying that right. It says a sign, a signal, a distinguishing mark. All right, a distinguishing mark, a mark, man. You see, a mark. All right, so let's go to Ezekiel chapter 9, man. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 9 in verse 4. It says, "And the Lord said unto him," which the Lord is speaking about the angel. All right, the angel, he said, "Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the man that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof," man. All right, so what is that mark? Let's go to it. It's Strong's H8420 Thawa. All right, it says, "Desire a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment." You see, now what is that sign from exemption from judgment that the angels are going to see and pass over? All right, the elect in these time, or that remnant in these time. Well, it's going to go into the name, man. You see those names, having those names, man. You see, let's go to Revelations. All right, matter of fact, let's go to Joel real quick. It's Joel chapter 2. I'm gonna go down to the last couple of verses, and then I'm gonna go to Revelations 14. All right, it's Joel chapter 2. And I'm gonna start at verse 30. It says, "And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood, there before the great and terrible day of the Lord." So like I said, before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. Yeah, and we seeing that right now. You see these particular signs in the heavens, man. You see, you just had these particular eclipse that happened, you know what I'm saying, last year. All right, to where they put an X, you know what I'm saying? And a couple of years before, it had that first eclipse, which put an X through, which put a line straight through America. All right, and it passed through the 7 towns that were called Salem, which means peace. All right, and this last eclipse that just happened, all right, put another line through America. All right, which basically put an X over America, man, and it passed through 7 towns that was called Nineveh. All right, and Nineveh is symbolic for destruction, man. You see, so the Lord has X'd this place out, man. These are signs all in the heavens, man. You see, that are that the Lord gave us to know what time we in, man. You see, but only the elect, only the remnant is gonna take warning and heed unto the signs, man. Okay, and to the mouths of the prophets as well. All right. It says, verse 32 is the point. "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in the Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord have said, in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. You see, that remnant, man. You see, in that name, those names, man. You see, so that mark of exemption is all those names and where they're gonna be written at. All right. How the angels gonna know? This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 1. It says, and I looked, and lo, and a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having their father's name written in their foreheads. You see, that's that mark. That's the Y. Okay. That's that blood of Yahweh, man. You see, that's gonna mark and cover that elect, man, from all these plagues and destruction that the Lord is getting ready to hit this place with, man. And you can read about their protection. All right. That exemption from judgment that's going to take place is for the elect in Psalms 91. You see about that, though they're dwelling in a secret place. And it talks about the pestilence. All right. Then it talks about 1,000 at one on one side and 10,000 on the right hand. But it shall not come nigh thee. Just like during ancient Egypt, man. You see how the Lord protected Israel. He brought those plagues. All right. But Israel wasn't touched by it. You see, the same thing is going to happen in these times, but only for the remnant, man. You see, only the remnant is going to be saved, man. You see, and going to be protected from these particular plagues that the Lord is going to get ready to bring on this place, man. You see, so that's what we hoping for. We hoping to have this protection, this Psalm 91 protection. This Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. All right, that exemption from judgment, man. So I'm gonna end it off on this one. Let's go back to Ezekiel 9 and read it again. Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, going into the elect, the one that's going to be protected. So let's see what's going to happen to the other ones. Verse 5, he says, and to the others he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maid and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And begin at my sanctuary, and they began at the ancient man which were before the house. All right. So there you have it, man. You see, there you have it. You see, we're hoping to have this the why, man. We're hoping to not be a part of that latter end, man, where the Lord tells the angels to go through and smite. All right. And tear these people up, man, because that's what we're getting ready to see. All right. So while everybody else is enjoying and, everybody else is going on with life, you know what I'm saying? Not understanding what's something heavy is about to take place this week, man. The Passover, man. You see, and the Lord has been showing us all these things, man. Everything that's been happening, the Lord been moving, man. He's been showing us. You see, and we know Satan's been attacking brothers, man, left and right. Demons been fucking with brothers, man, fucking with their children, Brothers just getting sick all the damn time. You see, but brothers are still fighting, man. You brothers out there still fighting, man. And that's how we know that this Passover is going to be heavy, man. Satan is trying to hinder. Don't let him hinder, man. Stay in the spirit. All right, stay locked in. Let's get our minds ready for the Passover, man. And Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we protect it, man. Us and our families. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teaching will well. And as always, peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.